Good morning, everyone. It is early Sunday morning, and it's just a beautiful morning. And I'm up early with my coffee and my beautiful Celine Dion cup. It's getting old. I'm seeing a crack starting to form down the center. It's been a couple of years since I first went and saw her in Las Vegas, and she was wonderful. But anyway, I am just coming out here because we're going camping this morning. We're going to be leaving just before the afternoon, and wanted to come out and enjoy my garden a little bit. Show you what's blooming. Look at these beautiful peonies. So this is Sandra Bernhardt peony, not fully open, and I just love it when it's at this shape. That classic peony bud that's just opening, that they really duplicate quite beautifully on certain roses. Earth Angel is a good rose that gets this shape to it. So I love these peonies. I have another dark one over here that's in bloom. We'll come around. This is Tess of the D'Urberville, and she's outstanding this year. Look at all the petals on the ground. I love it. But yeah, Tess of the D'Urberville is just beautiful. She's like this, not a classic rose shape. She's got like these fluffy layers of petals, and that color is so beautiful. So if you like a rose that's a little bit different, Tess is also sometimes grown as a climber because she does get those really long canes. I haven't had much luck growing it as a climber just because our winters get so rough that I cut it back quite a bit each year. Benjamin Britten is just starting down in here. He gets some pretty good cup shapes to those roses as well. But that one is just starting to bud, so it's not bud, but just starting to open. So it's not in full bloom yet. But I do have this peony over here that I do not know the name of. It was here when I bought the house. It was actually in a shady location and not coming up very well. And I moved it out here and I broke a whole bunch of pieces off the root stem. So I had put this tiny little root in here a couple of years ago, and it really finally took. And now I have these beautiful dark colored peonies, and they are just gorgeous. So I'm out here this morning just enjoying the garden before we leave for a few days for camping, and wanted to just see, listen to the birds, enjoy my flowers, have my coffee in peace. And I still have to go over and feed my ducks and my rabbits. So I will get that done for the morning as well. So let's go check out the vegetable garden, because that was the main thing I was actually going to show you this morning. Lady, what's in the garden? Did you find a toad? Another shot of the greenhouse. So all of this is kind of connected, starting with the vegetable garden. And I just did these stones the other day, and so I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do along the edge between the stones and the grass. I haven't quite figured that out yet. So I kept myself this little dirt spot here, and I planted some black beans and a little bit of spinach down here in the front. Something dug in it right away, those chipmunks, I'm thinking, and so I'm hoping it didn't steal my black beans out of there. It's very possible that they got a couple of my seeds, but I guess we'll see when they start coming up. In the beginning here, everything's really starting to take off, and this is a good time to see what is taking and what isn't, so I can get things pulled out and replaced as needed. This is a lima bean plant that I started in the greenhouse, and then there's some little watermelons down there. I do not have good luck with watermelon. It never seems to grow very well or very quickly, and so I never really get a full-size watermelon. I think this is the last year that I'm going to actually try for one. If I don't get a nice watermelon this year, I think I'm going to be done trying and put my attention into something else. These are green cabbage, and it looks like something munched on one of them last night as well. We have some nibbles. So looks like the chipmunks are becoming a little bit of a nuisance. 2 rows of broccoli. I had so much broccoli that took off in the greenhouse this year. So I have 2 nice full rows of broccoli, and again, look at something nibbling on one. Have to figure out what's getting in here and eating my things. Broccoli is like one of my favorite vegetables, so hopefully all of these will perform nicely. Tomatoes up here. So I have 3 rows of Black Beauty tomatoes. And let's see, I'm getting flowers on a lot of them. And I went through yesterday and started cutting off my lower branches. I always cut the very lower branches off as they grow upwards. I didn't do these guys yet because they're a little bit smaller still. These are Roma tomatoes, and I like to use Romas for sauce. I'll use any tomato in the end for sauce if I really want sauce, but I find Romas just do really well for making sauce, especially if I'm going to can it. I do have some iceberg lettuce growing. That's doing really good. Look at this one. I have this beautiful head forming that I'm so happy about. They are doing really well. Thankfully our mornings have stayed pretty cool, and the lettuce has just been really happy this year and forming beautifully without bolting. So knock on wood that it has done great without bolting. And I just love watching my lettuce form. Hoping by the time we get back in a couple days, I'll be able to actually pick this one and make a really good salad. These are peas, just basic sweet peas. And I just have like bamboo stakes that I put across, and then I have this twine that runs across for supports, and I'll just add another line as they get a little bit taller, and that works really good for me. So it looks like these guys are almost ready for another line here, and I just grabbed their little their little tendrils and start training them to grab the line, which isn't always easy. Give it like a little twist, a little wrap around the twine. Hope that it grabs. Stick them under there if I can. They don't grab very easily, but once they do, they really hold on well. Sometimes they just need a little teaching and guidance. So over here we have peppers. I have lots and lots of peppers. Peppers always they start off so slow, but then once they really take off, they do great. So these are the datil peppers, D-A-T-I-L. And then King of the North, which is a bell pepper. Looks like. I have a couple in there that are struggling. So we'll keep an eye on those. And then this row is Cubanelle peppers. Looks like I have to do a little bit of weeding again. And this row is my jalapenos. This row we did more lima beans. I really like the leaves on these. And then I have onions. So I have 3 rows of sweet onions here. And then I did more onions in the outside of the bed just because I had so many extras. We did that little extra spot just so I had somewhere to put some of my extra onions. That whole spot is all sweet corn. That's doing very well. That straw bunch is all fingerling potatoes. And I do layer up my potatoes. So what I did when they first started coming up is I did layers of our composted soil and did a couple layers of soil as they came up. And then I did a layer of straw as they got taller. And then I did another layer of dirt. And now I'm only layering with straw to keep them shaded. So you want where the tubers are going to form to make the potatoes, you want that kept shaded and in the dark so you don't end up with green potatoes. I'm not going to get much higher than this. Eventually I'll stop mounding it up and the potatoes will just be free to continue growing. 2 rows of beets that I directly sowed. It looks like one row is doing better than the other row. That's always so funny how that happens, but so there's some beets. And then this row is beets. Not performing as well. So that's interesting. I might have to figure out what to do with all the bare spots in between this sparse row. I think I have more beet seeds, so I think I'm going to go in and refill areas that aren't coming up. My eggplants didn't come up. All I'm getting in this row are weeds, so I have to get these weeds plucked. I think I'm going to clear out more of the dirt here. I didn't want a lot of eggplants, so I kept this row pretty small. And it looks like I'm not growing any eggplants. So I'll clear this out and I'll plant something else in here that'll be kind of quick. Either some more peas or maybe another row of the beets. I'm not sure yet, but I'll make this much bigger than it is and figure out something. There's some calendula there in the corner. This row is sweet potatoes, and sweet potatoes take a little while to not look so bad because I mail ordered them, and the shoots come in very wilty and not doing so great from shipment. But you plant them even though they look wilty, and then the roots will just start to take, and then your stalk will eventually bounce back. See, there's a new leaf being formed here. So this stalk is looking really good. That one's looking really good. This one's starting to bounce back. So sweet potatoes, be a little patient with them if you order them in. They don't come in looking very good at all. But as soon as those roots take, you'll be surprised that that will actually grow and it will be just fine. So behind the sweet potatoes, I have green beans, and those are a bush bean. And then beyond those against the fence, I have acorn squash. And my little trellis that I made from willow branches. I just have some hollyhocks that I threw in at the base of that. And these are more onions. These were, I think these were, what are these? I can't remember the type of onion. The little onions. I'm drawing a blank. The little onions. So, scallions. So these are growing here. And a small little patch of cucumbers. I didn't want to do a lot of cucumbers this year because I had so many cucumbers last year. I still have a ton of pickles and relish in my cupboard. And we eat a lot of pickles, so I didn't need a lot of cucumbers, so I just kept them simple this year. So, and I'll probably still get a lot. So here is the vegetable garden looking really well. Don't mind, excuse the fact that I have to mow and get all of this weed eating done, but I have a beautiful rose, another rose bush, and the scent on this one is just heavenly, and I'm trying to remember her name. It's like Bologna something, but it's, you know, the place Bologna, I think it's pronounced Bologna something. And she's a red and white splash and just this gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. And I ordered it from Heirloom Roses last year, and she is proving to be quite beautiful. Something does like to munch on this one, probably because it is so fragrant. So I did spray it down with some insecticidal soap, and it seems to have stopped the munching, and now I have these fresh leaves that are whole again. So I'm just going to keep the insecticidal soap handy until something stops eating this. But really excited to see this one really take off and do well. I can't express enough how beautiful the fragrance is on her. Just beautiful. A couple little things from the greenhouse. That's a little hollyhock. Some lilies I just put in, a daylily. And then I had this little peach cosmo that I started from seed this year. And it just started to bloom a little bit, and I thought the color was really interesting for a cosmo. So it's just really starting. It's not too impressive yet, but I want to see this really perform well. You don't get a lot of seeds. All I got was enough seeds for this tiny little this tiny little amount. It really was only like 6 seeds in the packet. I got them from Baker's Creek. So if you get the peach cosmos and you want a lot of peach cosmos, you're going to have to buy several packets, because this was all I got and they all germinated. But that's okay. This is a trial for me. I wanted to see how they are because I'm usually not crazy about cosmos. A couple things started from seed. I think these are carnations, some sunflowers. That was like a little mix of different wildflowers. So I don't know what's all coming up there. Does look like there's a cosmo in there. And a little And that is a little azalea that I put in last year, and I kind of argued with the nursery because it was marked for zone 6 and I didn't realize it until after I bought it. And I tried to take it back and tell, because we're a zone 5, and I tried to take it back and say, this isn't going to be very hardy. And she assured me that she thinks they were marked wrong or something like that. She's, oh, I grow them all the time, mine are hardy, and da 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 da. Well, there it is. That's as far as it has come back for me. It's performing about as well as I expected when I saw the zone 6 on it. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how this azalea does or doesn't do. But if it doesn't do much more than that, I guess I'll have to replace it. My bleeding heart is finishing up for the year. There's one more little flower hanging out. So okay, I'm going to get in and take care of these guys, clean that pool of theirs, get them some food, and get the day going for them. Well, this will conclude my morning out here with you, and I'm going to go ahead and get my ducks done, my rabbits fed, and everyone happy, and then get my family going and up for the morning, and take off for a few days camping. I can't wait, and it'll just be so nice to get away and relax for a few days. So I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day. Thank you again for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really does help my channel out a lot. Just being here helps out a lot. So if you're watching, thank you so much. I really enjoy your views. I really enjoy and appreciate the fact that people want to watch these videos at all. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you all next time. Have an absolutely wonderful week. Bye.